neurovascular system, right? Mm. So arches of foot. So the arches of foot means they are not specialized structures in the foot, but they are they are the structures which functions as arches. Okay, so that they preserve the structure and function of the foot. Okay, in the previous class already we have discussed it and we have touched about the topic. Today we'll deep dive into this topic, right? Arches of foot. Somebody came, Sri Vijaya. So there are three main arches recognized in the foot. They are medial longitudinal arch, lateral longitudinal arch, and transverse arch. Their arch okay. So 1, 2, 3. So medial longitudinal, lateral longitudinal, and transverse arch. Right? They are arch. They are called as arches because they resemble the Roman arches. Right? Roman arches. I have already said little about that in the previous classes, right? So this is a Roman arch, okay, which is arch-like structure, right? There are vertical columns which were supported by the arch-like semilunar structure, right? So Romans are known for their, they are known for many things, okay, Roman Empire, but they are also known for their architecture, right? All of this scientificity and architecture and all of these are their glories. That is why Rome was said to be, Rome was not built in a day, and Rome was the city to which all roads led. Okay, that is their glory. You see, this is an aqueduct, right? You see so many arches out there, right? So this is another arch, same by the Romans. You see these structures, arch, vertical columns, right? You see, this is a famous Colosseum where gladiator games and all the fun is used to be held here in this Colosseum. Okay, it is called a Colosseum. It is present in Italy. Okay, Rome. Okay, this is an amphitheater where there there were gladiator games and all the fun things used to be held, right? Okay, you see so many arches, so many arches, right? And so many latecomers. You see, this is a Colosseum. You see the arches, they are specialized in this structure, right? You see, this is one of the entrances of the Colosseum. Okay, you see here it is a Roman number L. It is 52nd entrance, means L. L means 50, right? 2. Arches everywhere, right? That is their beauty. You see, so in the arch, the stones are called as ouzoir, right? Stones are called as ouzoir. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So In the middle there will be a stone which is called as keystone. Okay, this is the structure. This is the structure which transmits the weight, okay, evenly into the, so the vertical load is passed into these directions. Okay, so this is the important structure, that is why it is called as keystone, right? So the inner angle is called as intrados and the external angle created by the usoir is called as extrados, right? So you see the vertical load is transferred to the vertical load is transferring in either directions safely, thereby preventing the structure from collapsing, right? That is the function of the arch. That is the main function of the arch, is to functioning of the structure, right? So keystones in the foot, okay, foot are the navicular bone is the keystone for longitudinal arch and medial longitudinal arch. Cuboid bone is the keystone for lateral longitudinal of the arch. Transverse arch, for the transverse arch, second metatarsal base and medial cuneiform, right? Always remember these things: navicular bone, cuboid bone, and second metatarsal and medial cuneiform bones are the keystones for the arches of the foot. You see, this is the this one, the golden color is medial side, okay, medial longitudinal arch, and this is lateral longitudinal arch. Okay, so medial longitudinal arch, this one, lateral longitudinal arch, this one, and this is the transverse arch. Okay, you'll see that. So this is the medial arch, this one is the lateral arch, and this one is the transverse arch. You see, and this one is the transverse arch. These are the junction between the tarsal and metatarsal heads. Okay, metatarsal bases, right? Metatarsal bases. So this is the one where there is transverse arch. Okay, this one is medial arch, this one is lateral arch. Okay, coming to the medial longitudinal arch, the medial margin of the foot arch is up between the heel proximally and the medial three metatarsophalangeal joints to form a visible arch from heel to medial three metatarsophalangeal joints, right? It is made up of the calcaneus, talar head, navicular bone, three cuneiform bones, and the three metatarsals. So all the bones within the vicinity of medial side of the foot. The posterior and anterior pillars are the posterior part of the inferior calcaneal surface and the three metatarsal heads respectively. So anteriorly three metatarsal heads, posteriorly calcaneal surface. Okay, inferior calcaneal surface are the pillars, right? You see, navicular bone is the keystone in this arch, right? Navicular bone. So the load is transferred like this. Okay, like that. You see, this is the medial longitudinal arch. Okay, like this. This one is the arch like structure, the keystone being the navicular bone. Okay, keystone, navicular bone, right? You see, this is the medial longitudinal arch and this is navicular, right? The bones themselves contribute little to the stability of the arch, whereas the ligaments contribute most significantly. The most important ligament structures are plantar aponeurosis, which acts as a tie beam. Okay, it is a tie beam between the supporting pillars. That means from calcaneum to the three metatarsal heads, plantar aponeurosis is the supporting beam, right? And dorsiflexion, especially of the great toe, draws two pillars together, okay, thus heightening the arch, the so-called windlass mechanism. Okay, so if we dorsiflex the great toe, okay, because the plantar aponeurosis with its 5 bands inserted into the plantar ligament, right? So whenever we dorsiflex or plantar flex the great toe, the plantar aponeurosis gets tense and relax, right? Okay, in the previous class we had discussed that about being plantar aponeurosis being inserted into the plantar ligament of the metatarsophalangeal joints, right? MP joints. Please refer to that class. Okay, so whenever we dorsiflex the great toe, okay, with the metatarsophalangeal joints, okay, all the flexor sheaths and the plantar, because of the plantar aponeurosis gets tensed, thereby tendon Achilles also get tensed. Okay, so this is called as windlass mechanism. Okay, so the ligament structures are the more important, which contribute to the stability of the medial longitudinal arch. First one is the plantar aponeurosis, and next in importance is the spring ligament, which is a supports the head of the talus, right? If the ligament fails, the navicular and calcaneus separate, because this is the calcaneonavicular joint ligament, allowing the talar head, which is the highest point of arch, to descend, leading to a flat foot, right? We have already talked about this, right? The talocalcaneal ligaments and the anterior fibers of the deltoid ligament and the tibia to the navicular also contribute to the stability of the arch, right? You see, this is the plantar aponeurosis, right? Plantar aponeurosis, medial, long plantar ligament and short plantar ligament, and plantar calcaneonavicular ligament, that is spring ligament. Okay, all of these structures, these are the main structures that support or gives the stability to the medial longitudinal arch. Okay, the stability doesn't lie in the bones but in the ligaments that connects the bones, right? So this is the stability given by the ligamentous structures and also the tendons of the muscles. Okay, muscles play a role in maintenance of the medial longitudinal arch, right? Flexor digitorum longus, right? Abductor hallucis and the medial half of the flexor digitorum brevis contribute, but to a lesser extent. But the main factor is flexor hallucis longus, which acts as a bowstring. Okay, bowstring. That means it prevents bowing of the other tendons, right? And it itself is prevented by bowing by flexor retinaculum, right? So tibialis posterior and anterior invert and adduct the foot, so to help raise its medial border. Okay, so main muscles that help in the preservation of arches are flexor hallucis longus, tibialis anterior and posterior, right? Always remember that. Tibialis posterior is manifested by the collapse of the medial longitudinal arch that accompanies failure of its tendon, right? See, these are the plantar aponeurosis, long plantar ligament, short plantar ligament, spring ligament, flexor. This one is a flexor hallucis longus, right? and this is flexor digitorum longus. Okay, these are the stabilizers of the medial longitudinal arch. Okay, right. You see, this is the dynamics. Okay, the weight from the tibia is transferred by talar head into the different directions, right? Okay, this is the function of the arch. Okay, talar head and navicular bone, right? So these arches maintained by the tension in the Achilles tendon and tension in the flexor hallucis longus. Okay, these forces are in this direction, whereas the weight is in this direction. Okay, everything is redistributed. You see, this redistribution of weight and the pull of the tendoachilles and FHL, flexor hallucis longus. Okay, by these mechanism, it maintains the stability of the medial longitudinal arch. Right. Coming to the lateral longitudinal arch, is much less pronounced arch than the medial arch. Bones making up the longitudinal are calcaneus, cuboid bone. Okay, cuboid being the keystone, right? Fourth and fifth metatarsals. They contribute little to the arch in terms of stability. This one is the lateral longitudinal arch, calcaneus, cuboid, fourth and fifth metatarsals, right? You see, less pronounced. The pillars are the calcaneus posteriorly and the lateral two metatarsal heads anteriorly, right? Ligaments play a more important role in stabilizing the arch, especially the lateral part of the plantar aponeurosis and the long and short plant ligaments, right? However, the tendon of fibularis longus, this is the most important thing, makes the most important contribution to maintenance of the lateral arch because this tendon passes a long way, right? The lateral two tendons of the flexor digitorum longus, okay, and flexor accessorius muscles of the first layer and the fibularis brevis and tertius also contribute to the maintenance of the lateral longitudinal arch. Okay, these many muscles contribute along with the ligaments, but the most important factor is fibularis longus tendon, right? Coming to the transverse arch, okay, and the bones involved in the transverse arch are bases of the five metatarsals, the cuboid and the cuneiforms. So bases of the five metatarsals, that means at the junction of MP joint, right? The intermediate and lateral cuneiforms are wedge shaped and thus adapted to maintenance of the transverse arch. The ligaments which bind cuneiforms and the metatarsal bases mainly provide the stability of the arch. Okay. As does the tendon of fibularis longus. Again, it comes because it goes to the base of the first metatarsal, forming an arch like structure, right, from lateral to medial side and like this, which tends to approximate the medial and lateral borders of the foot. You see, base of the first metatarsal, right? This is the arch. Okay. Tibialis posterior, fibularis longus tendon coming all the way and going to the first metatarsal head base, right? A shallow arch is maintained at the metatarsal heads. Okay. So far we have talked about the metatarsal bases where the transverse arch lies, but sometimes it is called as proximal transverse arch, whereas this one is called as distal transverse arch. Okay, and here in our textbook it is called as shallow arch, maintained at the metatarsal heads by deep transverse ligaments. Okay, transverse ligaments, deep transverse ligaments, transverse fibers that tie together the distal slips of the plantar aponeurosis until extension by the transverse head of adductor hallucis. Okay, this is a shallow arch. maintained by the deep transverse metatarsal ligament, right? So this is the transverse arch at this level, okay? So these are the muscles that give, you see, fibularis longus tendon going all the way from lateral side to the medial side, okay? This is the tibialis posterior. So these are the structures that give stability, because the pulleys in this direction, tibialis posterior pulleys in this direction, thereby maintaining the arch, right? Coming to the main tendons in the arches are peroneus or fibularis longus, tibialis anterior and posterior, okay? And then we have FHL, which is not represented here, flexor hallucis longus. Sorry. So what happens, what is the use of these arches is, they maintain the arch-like structure in our foot. If it is not maintained, or if it is not well stable, okay, it will be like this, okay, flat arch. It is called as flat feet or flat foot, okay, or pes planus, okay. It is a painful condition, and also a stiffness will be there, okay, and sometimes there will be a high arch, okay, which is because of some diseases, okay. It is called as pes cavus, right? You see, this is the normal arch, this is high arch, and this is flat arch. This is cavus planus. See, flat foot, normal foot, cavus foot, okay. Normal foot will be like this, okay. There will not be any arch, okay, loss of arch in the flat foot. You see, this is the normal, this is pes planus, where there is absent of arch will be like this, okay, absent of arch. And this is pes cavus, where there is high arch. You see, almost middle and longitudinal arches are together, right? And there is a mechanism which is called as windlass mechanism. Windlass means anchor like structure, like pulley, okay. When we dorsiflex the great thumb, okay, it pulls the plantar aponeurosis, right? That's why it's pulling the tendo Achilles, right? That is nothing but windlass mechanism. When we pull this, when we dorsiflex the great toe, it should happen that the arch should be accentuated, okay. Arch should be, if we dorsiflex the great toe, arch should be accentuated, that means should be increased. In the flat foot, there will not be any increase in the arch, that means there is loss of arch, okay. So this is how we examine a pes planus. As you see, as the toes or dorsiflex, plantar fascia is under constant contraction as it pulls distally away metatarsal heads. Right? This is anchor windlass. Okay, it presents in the ships. This is the windlass mechanism. Okay, by these things, okay, anchors which are very heavy loads are pulled up, okay, by these pulley like structures. Which is called as windlass mechanism, okay. This will be absent, this mechanism will be absent in pes planus, okay. This is the anchor, everybody knows that. Okay, this is the anchor, right? This is very heavy, okay. There will be many anchors here it is. So all of these, you see here, there is windlass machine, right? Pulley like structures. Okay, so this is the mechanism happening at the foot. Okay, when we dorsiflex the toe. Okay, so these heavy weights. Okay, so when foot is in normal, toe is in normal condition, plantar aponeurosis is flax. Okay, and when we dorsiflex, okay, when we dorsiflex, it become tensed. Okay, that is by it is pulling the tendo Achilles, right? So this is the windlass mechanism. Okay, so when we dorsiflex, by its pulling, the arch will be accentuated, right? There will not be any such mechanism when we do this in pes planus, right? With that, we end our topic. Let us now review the topic in 3D, right? Arches of it. So you see, so this is the medial longitudinal arch, okay, calcaneus and all. This is the lateral longitudinal arch, right? So these are the tendons, right? Medial is by tibialis anterior, posterior flexor hallucis longus and flexor digitorum longus. These three tendons in the metatarsal tendon, right? So these give stability, and here it is peroneus longus, right? In the lateral head, it is the peroneus longus, this structure, right? This muscle gives stability. And here you see the transverse arch, okay? This is peroneus longus, okay? The tendon which arches from lateral side to the medial side, okay? And that is tibialis posterior tendon, right? So these are the main structures that give stability to the transverse arch, right? You see that one. So see plantar aponeurosis, okay, long plantar ligament and short plantar ligament, all these structures give stability to the medial and lateral longitudinal arches, right? Okay, have any doubts?